Community Appearance Board meeting of April 16th. Renee, could you call the roll, please?
Member Morgan? Here. Member Nienstadt?
Here.
Member Paisley? Member Whitehead? Here. Member Trulock?
Here.
First item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from Motion to approve the minutes. Second? I second. Renee, could you call the roll, please?
Vice Chair Morgan? Here. For? Or against? Okay. Chairman Nienstadt?
For.
Member Paisley? Member Whitehead?
For, but let the record show that I was not a member of the board at that time.
And Member Trulock?
For.
Item 2 is the review level application for Port of Call Development, Ways District on 5 acres at 8801 Astronaut Boulevard. Ashri Gal is Wave Developments LLC, applicant owner. Can we have the city's thoughts on this project, please?
Sure, thank you guys. And one quick note, just to verify that all of your microphones are on with the green light and that you're speaking into them so that we can get it on the recording. But I'd be happy to give you a little introduction. Renee is gonna pull up a PowerPoint that just has a few different photos from the project. So essentially, this is a community appearance board review for a port of call development that's going to be called Waves District. It's a 5-acre site on 8801 Astronaut Boulevard. The applicant and owner, Oshri Gal of Wave Developments LLC, is here in attendance. And there's a little bit of a change to this project because of the first addendum to the amended and restated Port of Call Facility Development Agreement. And essentially that change does a number of things, but it also permits the owner to submit a single application to CAB so that you guys concurrently review phases 2, 3, and 4 all at the same time. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be reviewing phases 2, 3, and 4 at the same time. This project, you know, it's 4 phases. The first phase is already existing. You're probably aware of it with the Zarella's building. That's 1 restaurant and 1 retail unit. Second phase being a single-story commercial building. You can see that on the left. And then phases 3 and 4 being 6-story vacation apartment buildings. The city staff went through and reviewed it under section 2242. And I won't go one by one through all of those, but essentially the phases have different components to them, but they all fit with under the architectural components of the A1A Economic Opportunity Overlay District. They're in harmony with surrounding uses, and the Port of Call facility will be unique in that it's the first of its kind within the city. So it will provide a level of uniqueness and newness with things like a food hall and those vacation apartment rentals. As we look further, the renderings are not indicating any sort of out of the ordinary paint colors. You can see on that above rendering, it's shades of blue, gray, and white. So what we're doing here is looking to review phases 2, 3, and 4 all at the same time. And the Community and Economic Development staff recommend that the board approve the level 1 application for a port of call development, specifically phases 2, 3, and 4, with the approval of the single-story design exception for phases 1 and 2. So that is our recommendation, but happy to take questions, and I know that the applicant will also speak on the project.
Wait, pardon, you said the applicant will what?
He is here to speak on the project.
Okay. Yeah.
Again,
Well-
can you please make sure that your microphone is on, please?
Mine is. Can you hear me?
All right, yeah, maybe just get a little closer.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Well, I, for one, have been waiting for this to happen. I think that your you're kind of late in the game. I mean, we got, lots of stuff going on there and everything. So my concerns are the phases, three, the last phases, and the duration on, how long this is going to take. I was reading in the plans that was I correct to understand that up to 10 years before? Yeah, if you could, because I'm just concerned a little bit about that and how long the, yeah.
Yep, and then if you would just reintroduce yourself on the mic. Yep.
My name is Roger Gall, owner of Way Developments LLC and Virgin Enterprises. I wanted to start first with the presentation, but I will answer your question. Yes, it is an additional 3 phases. Phase 2 is the shortest out of the 3, which phase 2 I hope to get started as soon as possible. Phase 3 and 4, there is a longer duration, and the simple fact is this is, like Connor said, a different type of project. It's not a cookie-cutter hotel. Cookie-cutter hotel I could do easily within 1 phase, much easier to plan, much easier to get approved, much easier to finance, much easier to do a cookie-cutter hotel. I'm trying to do something different. Cookie-cutter hotels typically don't allow mixed use. They don't allow, at least the 3-star hotels that we have in Cape Canaveral don't really allow restaurants and other type of retail uses, which I believe my business model is a benefit for the city because I do have that mixed use component that the residents will get to enjoy. So it is different. Therefore, I do believe I need a little bit more time than a traditional hotel. Just to put it out there, there is another similar project as far as duration, which was the Ron John Cape Caribe, which is now Holiday Inn. They also had, I believe, and don't quote me on this, 10 years or even more per phase, which I think they still have another phase. So it's not that much different as far as what I'm requesting or what I requested versus the Holiday Inn, which I think everybody could agree is a great asset to the city because, once again, it's a little different than your cookie-cutter hotel.
You're talking about the Holiday Inn in Cocoa Beach.
No, the Holiday Inn in Cape Canaveral.
Oh, okay.
It used to be
you're
Ron
talking about
John.
the one over there by the port. Okay.
Yes, it used to be
Yeah.
Ron John Cape Caribe.
Right,
Now it's the
exactly.
Holiday Inn, and I
Timeshare.
think they have another 1 or 2 phases
Yeah.
that they still have the ability to construct. I hope I answered your question.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Should I take any other questions, or do you want me to elaborate on the project at all?
Just maybe a little bit, if you could elaborate on the project, would be appreciated.
Okay.
In your words.
Okay, thank you very much. I love to talk about my project, so you might have to stop me. Thank you, everybody, all board members, for your time and coming tonight to approve Waves District. The first iteration of this project was Wave Village, which was the original developers agreement. At that time, I started with Phase 1, which is the retail store in the Zarellas. Since then, I did change the business model a little bit. I changed the structure of the phases slightly. And obviously, the architectural scheme of it, I changed. I think it's a little bit more modern. It's unique, yet doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. I opted to choose whites and blues that are harmonious with the area. And like we've stated, this is going to be an additional 3 phases, with Phase 1 already complete. Phase 2 is going to be an additional commercial building, roughly 18,000 square feet, which I hope to occupy another food hall over there. I'm currently finishing my food hall in Cocoa Beach. I hope to CO that in a couple of weeks. And once I kind of entered into that market, I feel that it would be a great addition to Cape Canaveral, not only for the residents to be able to enjoy a variety of foods, but also it's a really big incubator for small businesses. Very difficult to start a small business nowadays, especially a restaurant. So the whole business model behind it is very community-oriented. So I hope to occupy at a minimum 8,000 square feet of the 18,000 square foot building. There will be possibly some event space over there as well, which I'm also considering. Phase 3 is going to be the 65-foot building, the first 65-foot building, which will be 64 vacation rentals ranging from studios to 3 bedrooms. And then the final phase will be another building adjacent to it, also 65, that will have another 40 vacation rentals, studios, all the way up to 4 bedrooms. The maximum height is 65 to the roof line, which the previous Wave Village was also 65 feet to the roof line.
Do you have any additional plans after this? Do you see something else in the future here?
Currently, I am focused on the four phases. There might be another phase after the 4 is complete, but right now I am strictly dedicated and
Okay.
focused on the 4 phases. Or I should say the 3 phases that remain.
Okay, so one question that I have is, and I see from the drawings and everything that it doesn't seem to be an issue, but that where the utilities, the trash, and whatnot are placed, and how the back of the buildings are going to look, and the sides, because of the residents that already live there, so that it's nice for them to look at. And so far in your drawings and everything, it seems like it's going to be fine and kept up. And as far as dumpsters, utility hoses, whatever that may be. And the other, and of course, this has to do with, I guess, the roads department and everything. And all this has been approved as far as turning in and everything, lanes. It gets very congested right there right now. So my issue with, wanting to know why 10 years is that during that time where you're waiting to build the other phases, how the other acreage there will be kept and nothing stored on, and for it to look, pristine and nice for those walking, from the, even the hotels to your shops that you're going to be having there, and the egress of the residents that already live there.
Yes, absolutely. Great question. Thank you. I'll just give you an example of how I do business. When I mowed down the mini golf, I chose to lay down sod and to irrigate it and to make it look nice because I knew it was going to be a few years before I begin.
Mm-hmm.
So I opted to spend that type of money and not just fence it in where it becomes blight and it becomes an eyesore.
Right.
In your packet, there is also a conceptual site plan per phase. Each phase is able to accommodate what's necessary for what's on that phase as far as parking, as far as dumpsters, and as far as everything that's needed to support what's going to be constructed. So every phase is independent, and every phase is going to look like it's meant to be a standalone, and it's not just going to be put together at the last minute.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so nothing stored on the empty lots while you're waiting for the phases? They're going to be
No,
kept?
absolutely not.
Right, okay.
I'm ultimately
Right.
going to be running a business there. I too have a vested interest for the property to look in good order as it looks today.
Okay, well, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Kim Rosanka, representing Wave Development LLC. Just some tidying up issues. This is actually a request for a level 2 approval for phase 1 to change the colors. And then a level level 1 for phase 2, 3, and 4. But for phase 3 and 4, we also need your approval to go to 65 feet. We had this approval from the CAB back in 2019, and the city code states section 110-624 that increased building height above 45 feet must be approved by the Community Appearance Board, and that's actually in the development agreement. So I would be requesting, if you choose to approve this application, that you approve level 2 for phase 1. You approve level 1 for phase 2, 3, and 4, and the 65-foot height for phase 3 and phase 4. This project has undergone a lot of changes, and staff has gone changes. The application was put in a long time ago, and it wasn't real specific as to what our request was. So that is the request for level 2 for phase 1, so we can change the color, and then level 1 for phase 2, 3, and 4, with 65-foot feet for 3 and 4. So I've said it several times to make sure I get it right. So
Right.
if I've confused you, please let me know. And if I'm mistaken, I'm sure the city attorney will tell me, or Mr. Ford.
So the colors, on the renderings, they look fine, but is that going to be true to what?
It has, that's what you're
approve? I mean, we don't
approving.
have them right here with us or anything.
Yeah, that's what you're approving, and it'd be in the record, and it was before you.
Do we
That's-
have the name of the colors? Do we have any, like, samples or anything? I mean, on the renderings, even the grass looks green. I like it.
As long as we continue to get water from reclaim, it will remain green.
That's right. Me too.
Yes, those are colors that are depicted on Sherwin-Williams colors. I have no problem providing Connor with the Sherwin-Williams color codes because
Okay.
they are specific. And if you look at any of my other projects, I always get the project as close as possible to the actual renderings.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have Sherwin-Williams on my home.
I'm sorry?
I said I have Sherwin-Williams paint on my home, too.
Yes, yes.
So I see kind of a very bright blue, and then like a little teal or turquoise in there, and then some
Which
gray.
phase? Are you talking about the existing phase, phase 1?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that's already there, and then the other one that you're going to be doing.
Yes.
I see a little turquoise on the front, and more of a gray tone, and then we have a blue,
Yes.
bright blue.
Yes, there's 3 shades of blue.
Oh, 3 shades of blue, okay.
Yes, there's 3 shades of blue.
Okay.
There's a teal, there's a white, and there's a gray.
Renee, would you mind moving it to slide 5 of the presentation? I think it might give a slightly more zoomed in color scheme. Of that same presentation, just further down in the document. Just, with the,
So you're saying the bright blue is a
Slide 5.
teal, so there's 3 blues,
The
scroll
teal
down a
is
bit.
on phase 1,
right?
and then there's another blue on phase 1, and then on phase 2, 3, and 4, the triangles have 3 shades of blue.
Okay.
And one of those blues
Is
is
it-
the blue on phase 1.
Okay, the teal, okay, okay.
yeah, this is the one I was looking to present. I think it gives a slightly more zoomed in version of the colors, so you're able to see them in a little bit more clarity from a different angle, of course. But I think that kind of speaks to what Mr. Gall was talking about with the different shades of blue.
And I'm sorry, there's 3 shades of gray as well.
Yeah, because that's what I was seeing, mostly
Yes.
gray and blue, and then I see a little bit of the turquoisey teal color there. And of course, the landscaping and the renderings just looks exquisite. I'm really loving that. That looks good. So, yeah, I just was wondering about that, and really, I don't have any, I do not have any more questions.
I think, Anthony, were you going to say something about, I thought you were about to say something a minute ago, no?
No, I was going to just note for the record, I concur, I was going to clarify as well that this application also includes phase 1 of, phase 2 of the existing building, and there's one depiction of it in the package to establish that color scheme.
Yeah.
And then the agenda item is silent on the fact that the board also needs to approve the 65-foot height for the roof line.
Yep, and as staff, I'm not opposed to adding those in as long as we're clear when you guys go to approve or deny that you're approving that specifically. We'll just need to make that very clear when we go to set a motion forth.
That's the same as the hotel, so correct? The 6-story,
Yeah, it's
The
a very
roof line.
similar height to nearby buildings, that 65 feet. It's just Community Appearance Board gives that approval to go up to 65.
Okay.
Right, there may be some roof equipment that goes higher, right, or parapets that can go higher under the code, but the roof line is 65 feet, and the board does have that approval authority,
right?
and has granted that height approval for other hotel buildings, actually.
Right, well, any equipment or anything on the roof is not going to be able to be seen, though. I mean, that's why
No.
it might be up a little higher,
Yes,
because it'll be hiding that.
Correct.
We don't want any air conditioners or things like that showing above.
No, one of the codes that I do have to meet is screening with a parapet or some
Right.
type of architectural feature, which we intend to do with all the rooftop equipment.
And the applicant has noted that code requirement on the plan is just, the hard copy is very difficult to read, but he does note the code requirement for that.
Renee, would you go to slide 10 of the document, the final one? This one kind of gives you a brief idea of how the elevations look. Like Anthony says, you can't quite tell numbers or anything, but it'll be 65 feet with the exception of those ones allowed by code and the screening of such.
Well, that's a calming area as you come down over the overpass there into Cape Canaveral, and people are definitely going to slow down to look at this. And hopefully come in and have something to eat and get out of their car and see what we have to offer.
I hope so.
That's one bonus.
I hope so. The reason why I kept the name Destination Downtown for the food hall is because I know it's the city's vision to have Central Boulevard as a new downtown for Cape Canaveral. So I do hope that this project does kick that vision off and we see more development on Central Boulevard.
Well, I agree that we need a port of call. If you've done any cruising, when you go somewhere, you'd like to visit, and Cape Canaveral has nothing. I hate to say that, but there's nothing. And, I work down at the cruise terminal, so, yeah, I think it's a great idea, actually.
Thank you very much.
Anyone like to make a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
With the notation that we go the 65 feet for phase 3 and 4?
That be approved as well.
Anthony, would you be able to outline it with just the level 1 and the level 2 so that we have it on the record again?
Outline, what do you mean outline?
That we'd be approving a level 1 application, a level 2 application, and the approval of a 65-foot building.
The existing building is what, level 1 or 2?
One.
That would be the level
2.
1.
No, I think it's 2 under the code, actually.
The color would
color.
be level 2, and the rest of it would be level 1 for
Yes.
phases 2, 3, and
So
4.
phases 2, 3, and 4 are level 1.
Yes,
The existing building is to change the color,
yes,
and
that
that
would be
is
level 2.
that is a level 2 approval.
Yes,
And then under the Economic Opportunity Overlay District, the board is being asked to approve 65-foot height, maximum height for the phases 3 and 4 vacation apartment buildings.
thank you.
And then also, if we can just put in there that we can actually know what the colors are, just. Thank you. It looks fine on the print,
Thank you.
but just so you can see. Thank you.
Renee, can you call the roll, please?
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Can we actually repeat the actual motion, please?
It's a whole lot.
Okay, so
I think I was,
you want to repeat it's the level, to approve the level 1 and level 2 and the 65 feet?
Yeah.
And then a second.
As per what Anthony said.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, what I outlined is
Right,
basically approve
exactly.
the application as presented for, the existing Phase 1 update on the color scheme and the Phase 2, 3, and 4 renderings being approved, and the 65-foot height for Phases 3 and 4 are also being requested to be approved.
So I make a motion to approve.
I second it.
Well said, Renee.
Vice Chair Morgan,
Approve?
Chairman Nienstadt,
Four?
Board Member Whitehead,
Or,
Board Member Trulock.
4.
Thank you all.
Yes. Okay, I'll email you a reminder. Thank you. Yep. All right, is the meeting adjourned?
Is there anything else we need to know, Connor? Anything else coming up, or?
No, do we do a public comment? No. Should we ask about open discussion before we look to adjourn the meeting?
I
Should
actually
we
have a
ask
question.
about open discussion?
I have a question also. I think, did Pamela resign? I think she told me she was moving. Is that not? Okay, so I guess she shouldn't be on our road, okay, just wanted to check on that.
Thank you. All right, yeah, no, city staff has no additional comments at this time, and it doesn't look like there's any other public comment or anything like that, so.
I make a motion, we adjourn. Meeting adjourned then.
All right, thank you, guys.